Right now you're only floating a few feet above the ground, just over 800 feet above sea level. But you're about to go much higher, on a journey to the edge of space. As far as the Seeker team knows, this is the first time something like this has ever been done before in VR. Thanks to the weather balloon above you, you'll soon reach speeds of over 65 miles an hour as you travel out of the troposphere and into the stratosphere. And you may notice this line going around. Well, that's because you're spinning fast too, but we stabilized the footage the best we could to make your ride a calm one. Now get ready, don't forget to look around, and enjoy your journey to the edge of space.
The nature of love is self-abandonment, not clinging to oneself, throwing yourself out. That keeps things moving. That's the nature of life. So in this idea then, everybody is fundamentally the ultimate reality, in the sense of being the self, the deep down basic whatever there is. You can feel yourself not as a stranger in the world, not as something here on probation, not as something that has arrived here by fluke, but you can begin to feel your own existence as absolutely fundamental. And you're all that, only you're pretending you're not. How do you know that's not what you're doing? Could be. I want you to play with it. I want you to think of its possibilities. I'm not trying to prove it. I'm just putting it forward as a possibility of life to think about. Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And you would, of course, be able to alter your time sense and slip, say, 75 years of subjective time into 8 hours of sleep. You would, I suppose, start out by fulfilling all your wishes. You could design for yourself what would be the most ecstatic life. Love affairs, banquets, dancing girls, wonderful journeys, gardens, music beyond belief. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And after several nights of 75 years of total pleasure each, you would say, well, that was pretty great. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. Well, something is going to happen to me that I don't know what it's going to be. And you would dig that and come out of that and say, wow, that was a close shave, wasn't it? And then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. Well, there were certain dangers involved, and the thrill of dealing with dangers. And you could rescue princesses from dragons and go on dangerous journeys, make wonderful explosions and blow them up, eventually get into contest with enemies. And after you'd done that for some time, you'd think up a new wrinkle to forget that you were dreaming, so that you would think it was all for real, and to be anxious about it. And then, because it'd be so great when you woke up, like children who dare each other on things, how far out could you get? What could you take? What dimension of being lost, of abandonment of your power, what dimension of that could you stand? You could ask yourself this because you know you'd eventually wake up. And finally, you would dream where you are now. You would dream the dream of living the life that you are actually living today. That would be within the infinite multiplicity of choices you would have. if you awaken from this illusion, and you understand that black implies white, self implies other, life implies death, or shall I say, death implies life, you can feel yourself not as a stranger in the world, not as something here on probation, not as something that has arrived here by fluke, but you can begin to feel your own existence as absolutely fundamental. And you're all that, only you're pretending you're not.